And I just remember from thinking I'm going to die, and then it was just white.
Hi, I'm Zima Anderson, and Bin Night with Tak Matty. That's a conversation that I would want to listen to if I was you. So go on, go get in the bin.
G'day, g'day, g'day.
G'day, g'day. I'll do it this time. I said at the start this was going to be my time. You do it every single time. I just want to have the intro. I just want the intro once. Okay. Well, welcome to Bin Night with Tak and Matty. My name is Matt, and this is Tacky. Maybe it should be your job. That sounded rehearsed, but it was not rehearsed. Hey, thanks for coming back.
Just what you get with jokes from Matty. That's what you get.
Yeah.
That
I give you all the lead up, but there's never a punchline. That's the theme.
That's what's keeping me around. I'm still waiting for a punchline from about 10 years ago.
You should hear my dad talk. Honestly, he's like an old country guy, but he talks so slow that it's frustrating. And I've been driving around in cars, and he's on the phone, and where I'm in the middle of a conversation with him, and I know that he's gonna stop, and then he'll just pause like he usually does. But it's so long that my friend cuts in, and he'll be like, "Oh, you must have lost reception," or whatever. And then he's like, "So you go to the roundabout, and you'll see the big tanks on the left there. Once you go past the BP servo on the right, it's just him. He's just super slow, and that's also me." We were talking about me having bad jokes, but here we are.
I don't know why'd you drag your dad into your bad jokes?
Look, moving on. If you clicked on this episode, you know that we are going to chat to Zima Anderson, who is one of, she's one of, I was going to say the bubbliest people that we know, but that would just reduce her. Like, she's one of the most talented people that I know, who is always glass half full, who is always eyes open, always open-minded. She's always extremely outward as well. She never just thinks about herself, even though she's got a lot with a creative mind going on. She's always thinking about the people around her and how she can elevate everyone else. And she's just got so much gratitude every day.
Super empathetic, feels so much for people, has such an emotional journey within herself, but then accepts and loves everyone's emotional journeys around her. She is like the embodiment of love in so many ways, and in the embodiment of art in so many ways, in that art is such a personal experience, but it's a personal experience that you share with others in a really beautiful way. And that's kind of Zimmer, to me at least. And yeah, this is a really, really special chat.
This is one of the best conversations, if not the best conversation we've ever had. She's just a force of nature, and I can't wait to see what she does.
There are some
next.
jaw-dropping stories. Jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
So enjoy that.
Anyhow, Tak, I've got something special for you this week. All right?
Oh, yeah, what do you got for me?
Because I don't want to hear about you going through other people's bins anymore, because I'm appalled by that, or your cheap skating around town. Look, it repulses me, Tak.
It repulses you.
Yeah, because
you
I
come
know
back
you put
each
so
week.
much. You let it frustrate
we
you.
called,
You get really
we called the freaking podcast Bin Night, and you're worried about bin
much.
stories. All right,
Yeah.
come on. What do you got for me?
Okay, here's a couple of questions for you. All right, 10 questions. This is the thing. You're not allowed to sit on it for too long. All right. You got to come straight back at me. What's something you used to believe in what is something you used to believe in that you now think is complete rubbish?
Oh,
Little bin theme to it there.
Jeez, that's a pretty. I feel like that's a hard question to answer without warning. Something I used to believe in that I think is rubbish now.
Eggs are bad for you. There you go.
Eggs are bad for you.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the cholesterol kind. But that's a boring answer. It's like that's less of like something you believe in and just a fact that got changed over time.
That got changed. The food pyramid. That's topical.
The food pyramid. Yeah, that got changed. It got flipped upside down, didn't it?
The heart rating. The health rating on food packaging.
Is that changing? Is it?
No, it's just so bad. I think I should verify
Well,
this
the thing
before I
is,
say
it shouldn't
but I
be
think
like
it's
5 hearts, right? It should be like something bad, something less bad, something okay, and then hearts. You shouldn't get 1 heart for having a really bad thing. You should have like
no. I
one.
think it's
poop
5-star
emoji.
health rating, but I think it's to do with your heart. So it might not be to do with everything else that's in there that might make you healthy on another system of your body.
Well, then it should be
So
like
for example,
a 1 dark brown heart, not a 1 red heart.
there you go. Okay, all right. What's your most irrational pet peeve?
I'm bad at these questions because they're things that I'm like, well, I've got to think about this to know exactly my right answer for my irrational pet peeve. I have plenty of pet peeves though, don't I, Matthew?
Just
give me one.
like-
Give me one. Give me one. You know them.
Oh, mate, just put one down. You hate when people aren't on time or sticking to schedule. When people aren't.
That's not irrational. That's very rational. See, that's the problem. All of my pet peeves are very rational.
You
things.
hate morning
They're-
people.
That's not
are
irrational.
you-
That's very rational.
What are you embarrassingly bad at?
Like, I'm embarrassingly bad at being bad at things, you know. So like, I'm just so good at everything.
Okay.
I'm not a great runner. I don't know if it's embarrassingly
There you go.
bad, but I'm not a.
There
It's
you go.
one form of movement I don't enjoy, and I'm just not very good at it.
Yeah. Mornings. There's another thing. What's a habit that you're trying or failing to
Oh no,
quit?
I'm embarrassingly bad at sleeping. That's what I'll say.
There you go. That's a good
That's
one.
embarrassing. Like if someone was watching
get
me
up-
sleep, they'd be like, "That's embarrassing."
Yeah. I'm embarrassed for you. What's
Actually, no,
a
they
habit
wouldn't be
that
watching
you're
me sleep.
trying-
They'd be watching me lie in bed, not asleep,
Yeah,
trying
this
to
is
sleep.
meant to be real quick. Make it shorter. What's a habit you're trying? Hold on, this is one of anyway. What's a habit that you're trying and failing to quit?
A habit that I have that I'm trying and failing to quit is how much I love food and how big my portions are. Because I could just keep eating. And
Wait, isn't it a Japanese thing to eat till you're 70% full or something like that?
yeah, but I was brought up in Australia, and
Yeah, I know.
it's not a thing here. So I never learnt that lesson, and I eat
Well,
till
you
I'm
should-
120% full.
I take that on whenever I feel like I need to cut back a bit, and it works every single time.
I'm sure it does, but see,
It's difficult.
I probably have an actual mental issue where food is placed in my life emotionally somehow, because it just gives me so much satisfaction, the act of eating, and when something is delicious, just continuing to eat it, it's so hard for me to control that. And I think I would be super obese had I not been so, I guess, athletic my whole life. So active, maybe is a better word to use. So because I'd played so much sport, and I fidget and stand and I bounce around the place all the time. So I use a lot of energy. And I think that's kept my weight under control. But now that I'm home a lot taking care of Ari, then it's
That's
coming
where the
back to
dad
bite
bod
me.
comes from.
It's coming back to bite me.
There you
But see,
go.
and people say you got to be okay with your body. It's like, but that doesn't mean that I have to be okay with something that I'm not happy with.
This
you know?
is the alarm for hurry up, because they're quick fire questions.
Oh, all right.
I know we could sit on them for a long time, but
All
I
right.
can't wait to get to this next one. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever ignored?
My best piece of advice that I've ever ignored. It's such a Why would I ignore a good piece of advice? I think the best piece of
I
advice
guess
that
the
I've
advice
ever
that you
ignored
realise later is the best.
is my own advice, because when I'm
That's
advising
it.
other people on things, I can give great advice. But if I was in or am in that specific scenario, can't take my own advice. Can't
What's
take my own
something
advice.
you'll always spend money on without guilt?
Food.
Food.
Food. Delicious meal is delicious and worth every penny.
What instantly makes you lose respect for someone?
Rudeness. Genuine rudeness. Like we are rude to each other generally, but it comes from a place of love. But genuine rudeness, lose respect.
Yeah. Yeah, the closer they are, the ruder you can be, right? What's a small thing that brings you way too much joy?
Food. Ari.
There you go. What's a hill that you are willing to die on?
That you should be able, that people shouldn't have issues with throwing stuff in other people's bins as long as they're the right bin.
Wow.
It has to be bin related, right? That's
I
only makes sense.
I feel sorry for your future neighbours when you're geriatric. You are going to put in all the complaints to council. You're going to be the one always writing letters. You are. I can see it happening already. I could not be
bothered to write letters. You don't know me at all.
Yeah, but you've got kids to look after. You've got a lot to do. As soon as that's taken away, you're going to want to fill that void.
Yeah, I'll be just playing like a PlayStation or whatever the equivalent it is then. That's what I'll be doing, Matty.
Last
I'm
question.
not going to be writing letters about bins. I'll be like, get over it. I put poop in your bin. It was my dog's this time.
That's the letter you're going to write. If you could ban one thing tomorrow, what would it be?
That could be a big answer, but derision, divisiveness, like we talk about in this coming up episode.
How do you ban that?
Putting people in boxes. Well, you didn't put any boundaries on what I could ban. Why can't I ban that?
Yeah. Okay. I've got one for that I think about all the time. You can ban politicians saying negative things about the other politicians. All they can do is say about the positives of their policies. They can never talk about the negatives of other policies. And then all of a sudden you've got everyone just...
I think it should be an advertising rule.
It's less divisive.
I think they should bring that in Australia. We should start a campaign for that. That politicians can only positively advertise.
Yeah,
because
only
I hate this idea that we find a leader based off what they make us fear. That's crazy. Why would I follow someone who scares me? That's a crazy reason to follow someone. So I agree. I'm with you there, Matty. So you should be answering these questions. You've got much better answers than me. You know, we're not too proud to admit we like to take care of ourselves. Maybe even a little luxury when it comes to our faces.
The old moneymaker.
We all know that's not your moneymaker, buddy.
Yeah, all right, enough from you. A huge hello and thank you to our brand partner and beauty partner, beautyboat.com.
If you're living in the UK, you can visit the website and order from a huge range of gorgeous skincare products to help reveal your natural radiance.
Sorry, Australia. This one is just for our friends in the United Kingdom. But if you are in Australia, you can still send a gift back to your friends and family in the UK through beautyboat.com.
If you're living in the UK, you can visit the website and order from a huge range of gorgeous skincare products to help reveal your natural radiance. Thank you to beautyboat.com for being not only our official beauty partner here at Midnight, but also for being there for all of your beauty needs.
All of them.
I think it's time to listen to Zimmer.
Yeah. Go and enjoy. This is a splendid interview.
Whoa. Yeah, get in a comfy chair. This is a long one and this is a big one. Here's Zimmer.
That's what she said.
I need to hear that release. That is your song, right?
Yes, that's one of my songs.
Yes, I listened to that and I was like, I showed Jess straight away. I was like, Jess, have you seen Zimmer's video? You have to, I cannot believe it's not released.
Do you have a finished song yet, Zim? Because you show me bits and you go, I've got this little bit and this little bit and this little bit. So do you have a finished song?
Well, the thing is, that like that and that video as well, that is just straight. I know producers because I'm in the industry, and I know artists, and nobody knew I sang because that's something I always do. And I was like, and also that I've got this thing where like I freestyle. So that whole song is just, I went into the studio with my friend and he was like, okay, so what do you want to do? I have my journal. And I was just like, do you know what? Can I have a beat and like play me like I said, and then I told him what I want the beat to sound like. And I said, give me a little bit of this. And I said, and just record. The song's just full freestyle. Every song I've ever made, freestyle. It's like a weird thing that I do.
These lyrics, are you pulling them out of your journal? Is that the idea?
I take my journal because that's just for nerves, because when I first did it, also sometimes, like I write a lot of poetry. So I have a lot of poetry all the time. And sometimes I'll write a poem and I'm like, if I'm losing momentum in the studio, which I never am, I always got lyrics nonstop, which is awesome, out my brain. But if I'm losing momentum, I will pick up my book and whatever beat the producer's playing, I'll try to create a song out of the poem and I'll just sing that and then flow on from there. And usually my creativity just kind of like locks back in, but I never write anything. It's generally fully flow state and I just sing whatever. And do you know what the worst part about it is? This is what I found. It's not like acting, because I guess it is like acting. Like acting is truth, but it's a truth that isn't you. Whereas when I'm freestyle singing, I be saying stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I said that out loud, because it's just a flow state of whatever's sitting in me.
Has this ever caused any awkward moments in the studio because you've said something about the person that you're recording with?
No, never, because I will tell you a secret so far. So basically, I've only ever done 5 studio sessions. I've been a musician all my life, but I never picked up, obviously, acting's like my main goal, my main love. But obviously, I love every creative thing. And I hadn't made a song in forever, and just recently it was like within an amount of like 5 months I have like 7 songs, different producers, like some of them all the same, and it's like they're all very fresh. I'm not like doing this often. This is just me like stuffing around.
What is it? What stops? Is it money? Is it time? Is it like the fear that it's not right? Or
a lot of money goes into it, which you don't expect it. So it's more of like a passion project, and also it's a career, which I didn't know. I'm like getting sat down with producers that are like, okay, if you want to do this because I like your sound, and I'm just in the booth like having a nice time. I just like stuffing around. And every song, this to answer your question, which I didn't, every song so far, those 7 songs, they're all about my ex. And I'm like, well, it's just one person. And if I put these out, they're gonna know it's them. And I'm like, I'm not ready for that yet.
I know some phenomenally artistic people, and you have to be at least on par with anyone else that I know of how artistic their artistry is in so many facets, from acting to painting and drawing to music to, let's say, the art form of movement as well. Which combines both dance and your MMA fight stuff. So you are a special and very unique person. And so what that can mean, though, is that you produce these 7 tracks, which Matt hears, 30 seconds of one or whatever, is like, holy, where did this song come from? And you're like, oh, no, it's just a thing I threw together. But something that you just throw together as such a capable person is actually like way better than so many other people there who are dedicating their whole lives trying to get this stuff out. So when's the EP coming is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, do you know what? Well, I've been the funny thing is I basically, it's like I like trial, because when I first did this, I was really loving the music and I was like, I'll put an EP, I'll do this. But then I decided I really wanted to test myself in the industry and like making little goals for this. Like eventually I want to do an album, and I want to do an album, and I want to do EPs.
Can you send us a track and we put it on this episode?
Yeah, it's like unedited. I reckon that I possibly could be able to do that.
We'll play it at the end.
We'll
Yeah,
just play it
okay,
at the end.
fine.
We'll and me and Maddie will do like a
Stick
dance or
around.
something to it, so that it's
Yeah,
We
not
okay.
certainly
just.
will not. We absolutely will not do a dance
Yes,
to it.
you will.
I
That
will-
sounds
we
really
will.
good. I would like that.
Zimmer, you like Tak was saying before, you have so many different outlets for your creativity, right? And we always see you jumping from one to the next. And as Tak said, you go all out. What is it right now?
Right now is actually I'm getting ready to film a little movie, which is fun. I broke my knee like 2 months ago, so it's been rehab, getting ready for that. But then also at this period of time, basically this large chunk of time that I've had and that I have before jumping onto set is about like 2-3 weeks. And so my goal through that, I've just been embodying my artworks because I am cultivating my next exhibition because I haven't done an exhibition for a little bit and it's time. So I have my concept, I have my pieces that I need to do, my rebrand, and I'm getting everything planned and sorted so that the gallery can go forth in around like April, June this year after I finish filming,
Yep.
hopefully. So it's kind of like tunnel visioning all of those things at once and planning.
You've got this film coming up, and obviously we can't know too much about it, but is the character a stretch from you, Zimmer? Is it something that you need to really dive into and workshop? And
No, it actually is exactly what I've been wanting to do, like role wise for a little bit. I feel like it really lands in an area that I love. I love the character and I love the story. And I think that it accesses a little part of Zimmer that I'm excited to bring to life on screen, which is fun.
Along with being the most capable person in so many facets, you're also the most accident prone because you're constantly hurting yourself. If you haven't fallen out of a tree, you've broken your knee. If you haven't, well, SAS. Do you want to talk about SAS? Can we talk about what happened there?
Zim basically went on the SAS Australia show as one of the contestants. And midway through the show, there was an accident where she was severely injured, and it just blows my mind that you're even here today. What actually happened?
So what happened, and funnily enough, I know this sounds crazy, but I had an intuition that something bad was going to happen as well. I know that sounds really strange, but I had a really bad feeling, and then I remember I wasn't wanting to quit the show, and then I felt like I should leave for some reason, and I didn't know why that feeling kept hanging very like heavy in my belly because I'm not scared of things. I'm not wanting to like leave. And then on the morning we were heading to the first task of the day, and the producers had a conversation with me and the crew and everyone as well, like the other contestants. They were like, "You're so strong, you need to stay." And I'm like, I'm not leaving because I want to go. I just feel like something, it was really weird, right? And on that morning I went, and basically every time you're sitting there with the tasks, you don't know where you're going, and they blindfold you at different parts. They hide you and separate you, and you will not know what you were about to do, and you don't get to watch other people do the task either, so you have no idea, especially on an alone task. So we all sat down in this giant gully, and I was a little bit nervous because I thought that I might have to drive stick, and I can drive stick, but like I don't know under pressure how good I'm gonna be, and that's all I was thinking about. And I never got nervous, and the first contestant went up and I heard gunshots, and it went on for a very long time. He was away for like half an hour or so, and we're all sitting there waiting, and then it was my go. And I remember thinking as well, like when the DS had explained, he was like, when you jump, move your backpack at the right time. And can I tell you guys a proper, like I know this is weird, but it's true. When he said move it to the side when you jump, my brain literally said to me, don't jump. And I kept on feeling really sick in my stomach, and my brain kept on being like, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. And I was like, am I anxious right now? Is this what fear is? Because I don't really get anxious. I don't get fearful. And I was looking around thinking, maybe this is just what fear is. Maybe I'm a little bit scared, Like, that's okay. It's fine. I'll be all right. The DS then was like, if you guys make any mistakes, this is different now. So instead of us encouraging you to stay and push through, if you make one mistake on this course, you're kicked, right? So they said that. So I was like, oh, fuck. Then, oh, excuse my French. Then they called me up. I was second. Then I ran out, and as I ran over this hill with the backpack that was bigger than me, I was running over this hill, and I see a DS, and I saw another DS, and so I had to run for a while. And I got down to this, like, barge, and the DS was underneath the ramp, and we had to, like, secret to each other. And I was like, hey, and not like that, you don't say hey to the DS. I just rocked up and I just waited, and he was just like, E313 green door, go. And I was like, I kid you not, I've got a great memory. My mind went blank. I heard not a single thing, and it was like my ears, I couldn't hear anything. And I looked at him and I blinked, and I remember going, and you never talk to them as their friends, but there was no cameras around us. And he was sitting there, and I said, I don't know what you said. I don't know what you said. I don't know what you said. And he was like, and he grabbed his microphone. He said, Zimmer, don't, and you're not meant to, and they never call you, and never. And that was my first mistake. And they should have stopped me there because I'd fucked up. And he was just like, E13 green door, just go, like, hurry up. And I was like, okay, cool. And I ran off, and I saw that there was gunmen. You had to, like, escape around this thing, and, like, there was crates, like, shipping containers. And then I crawled underneath all this stuff to get around them, and there was this open space, and I sprinted, and they're shooting, like, pellets at you, so, like, firing at you to run away. Then I see these 2 army caches that we're looking for, which I heard about the day before. I grab them. I run around the corner. There's a security dog starts trying to attack you, right? So there's so many different things going on. There's a attack dog attacking at me. The DS, Ant Middleton, was there, and he looks at me and he goes, where the fuck did you get those? Put those fucking down! And I was like, what? And he goes, and I picked up the spare caches that production had hid. And I somehow found them, and I stuffed up the whole course again. And he was like, go to the fucking door. And so I ran. I made a second mistake. They should have stopped me. I ran. I grabbed the cases. Then when I saw the caches on the ground, I remembered from the day before, never leave anything behind. So I picked them up again. I don't know why. I picked them up again, and I started running. And he turned around, and he's like, fucking put them down. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I threw them, and he was like, don't throw army shit. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I finally get to him, and he's standing, he grabs me by the shoulders, and he's just yelling at me. He's just like, you're an idiot. What the fuck is wrong? Like, climb. And I look, and there's a 10-meter, like, tower off a jetty into the water. So I was like, okay. And so up I go crawling up through this tiny hole, and you get up 10 meters, like, on this ramp, and and you work all these things out because they teach you so much. They don't tell you what you're going to do. You just have to be switched on. And I got to the top, there was a radio, and there was a speedboat really far out coming in hot. Like, so I was like, I'm escaping. I'm jumping 10 meters off this plank. Terrified. That did not seem right to me. I wasn't scared, but I just did it. I radioed, and I said the right code. I know I did. The radio cut out straight away. And then they called again. They said, could you please answer that again? The radio cut out. I gave the code one more time. Radio cut out again. Every single time I try to say the code. Then I was like, fuck it. And I had a really weird feeling in my stomach, and I did it one more time, and they were like, okay, jump. And I ran with my backpack in front of me to jump off 10 meters. Speedboat coming in. It's actually wild when I tell this story that's part of my life. And I jumped off, and because at the time I was,
oh my god, I feel sick.
I know, at the time I was enjoying it. It was fine. But it's just all the signs beforehand. I just knew something just was not right, and I ran, and at this time I was about 49 kilograms, so I was at my lightest, and, like, it was really small, and the backpack was about, like, 25 kilograms, and so as I jumped, the little toggle of the backpack got clipped on a random part of a rope, and because I was so light, it just swung me, because there was just a plank and railing, and you're at the top, and so I just jumped, and it's just swung me, threw me up, and threw me back on the concrete exactly where I came from. And I jumped, and it went, and I was looking, and I looked towards where I just jumped off, that I could count the bolts in the side of the thing. And I remember my brain thinking, if I grab that, I'll twist, because in gymnastics you learn how to fall. So I remember thinking, I'm going to hit my head. So I just looked straight down. I looked at Ant straight, and he was looking straight up at me. I still remember his face. And then I just was like, I generally, kid you not, this is what I thought. I went, okay, I'm dying. So I said, all right, I'll die. So that's literally what I thought. And I just relaxed because I was like, I'm falling. I just going straight, head straight first, concrete. I said, okay, relax. And I put my hands out, and then from gymnastics, you can't fall like that. You'll break your arms. And so I just started to retract them when I must have hit the ground, because this was the arm that got like most of the blow. Crazy. I know. It's actually wild that I survived.
So you fell face first?
So no, I somehow must have saved myself. Supposedly, they never gave me the footage, but supposedly I hit something on the way down. It didn't really break the fall, but it was like I hit some metal thing or something. There was like a metal, like, big, which, I don't know, that sounds worse in my head. I hit something, and then all I remember is, like, I didn't lose consciousness. I didn't get a concussion from 8 meters, wild, nothing. And I just remember from thinking I'm going to die, and then it was just white. And I was like, oh, I've died. All right. I was like, I remember thinking, I was like, okay. And then slowly the white just turned to the clouds, and I was staring at the sky, and I was laying flat on my back. And I was like, and then the pain, like the shock, like hit my body, and I was like, oh shit! I was like, oh no, God, did I break my back in the Middle East, Zimmer? Really? And then I was, just from there, which was wild. It was crazy experience, really.
And that's only the start of the story, right?
I remember getting into the ambulance, and this was the moment that was the most scariest, because the moment I got in the ambulance, I remember the feeling in my belly, because it's like you're not around anybody you know, right, when you're filming the show. We don't have our phones. It isn't like a normal reality show. You don't talk to anybody apart from the cast that you're with and the same experience you're going through. But there was cameras always watching you in the experience, and so it felt like you were always surrounded by people. And the moment I got in the back and I was driving away, and I could see all like the camera crew and just the sound of the ambulance and one Arabic like paramedic in front of me speaking Arabic, I was like, I felt so alone. I was like, shit. I was like, I am in a different country and I might have broken my back. And then when I got there, it was a beautiful experience. I got taken, the production put like an American doctor called Renetta, I love her. She was amazing. Both of the doctors, Dr. Dan and Renetta, were like incredible. And she came with me, and we went to a army hospital in Jordan in the Middle East. When I got to the hospital, I was obviously laying in my back, like it was a bit of a daze because I had the green whistle, and I was rolling through a giant corridor, like looking up, and over top of me was just thousands of men in army suits. And I was looking, and they're all looking down at me, and I'm like, what is going on? And I got wheeled into a room, and I stopped, and a guy with like special badges and a big fat mustache said, "You okay?" And I said, yeah, I'm okay. I was like, okay, because I went through a couple doctor things. It was crazy because they weren't speaking English either. It was just me and Renetta, and we were trying to communicate, and I couldn't really communicate what was going on with my body either. And so it was a little bit difficult. And then
How was your body feeling at this point?
I don't remember, but all I remember was it was really in pain. They were trying to like do something to put the bloods into my hand, and I remember trying to get them to stop. I didn't know at the time, but I had broken something in my hand as well, and I don't really remember. Basically, I don't know what it felt like. I can't remember what it felt like.
At this point, could you move your toes?
No, nothing. And for the remainder of the next 6 days, I was paralyzed in the hospital bed. It was like, could not move an inch.
So it just didn't work at all? Like, did it feel like you were actually doing something mentally?
My body was stuck. It felt like completely stiff, wouldn't move a muscle. There was nothing wrong with it apart from they couldn't figure out what was going on because something was clearly wrong with it. And I had breaks, and I'd broken my elbow and possibly my wrist. but nothing about my torso or my legs. There was nothing wrong, but my body would not move anything, couldn't wiggle my toes. And what would happen would be when I tried to sleep, if I shut my eyes for a second for those 6 days, if I shut my eyes, the moment that I would drift to sleep, my body, your brain tries to replay trauma in your head to understand it. So my brain would replay the fall in my head the moment I shut my eyes, and my whole body would jolt as it hit the ground, and it would be the most painful experience I've ever had. I would jolt awake and scream. And so one of the beautiful casting producers, she was like my mum there, and I felt so bad for her because she was sleeping in the room with me and someone had to be there with me, and she was just watching me go through nightmare after. I couldn't sleep because if I slept, my body would wake me up from falling. It was terrible. It was so bad. And then I got a little wheelchair, and then I just started moving again, and then everything was fine.
What were the doctors or whatever telling you?
They didn't know, and they kept on CAT scanning me, kept X-raying me. I had dye pumped through me. There was not even any bruising. I got the weirdest rash in the world, which is so strange, and they couldn't work out what it was. No bruises, no internal bleeding, no nothing. Like a little bit here or there, but nothing crazy at all for the fall. And I just got a rash on all down my spine and the back of my legs, and it was like my skin was like red marks in patches, and then it just disappeared. And there was nothing, and they couldn't work out what it was. Nothing. I feel like my body just absorbed the shock, and then it just exited. But it took a while, to get back to normal again. It was strange, and also felt really strange. It was also a wild experience. It was like I didn't get a concussion then, and so it was fine. And I was in really high spirits because I was alive, So it was yeah, it was wild.
This couldn't have happened to a better person.
Oh, Jesus, Matt.
No. You think about someone else in that situation, and they might not have had the will to get through this, right?
Well, also, Tim Robards, who was on the show with me, if Timmy had fallen from that height because of his body build, because of his weight, he 100%, it would have been so much worse. But because I'm so little, and also flexible in my joints and my muscles, it's actually so much better. Anybody else would have died or cracked or broken
Glass
their spine.
half full.
Was the bag when you fell? Did it stay on you? So therefore,
No, it was
landed on top of you?
It was in front of me, and so it dragged me to the side, and then I don't know where it was.
Oh, so you landed on your side.
Yeah, and I don't really remember letting it go. I think I let it go. I don't know. They wanted to fly me straight to Australia, but at the time I'd already pre-booked that I would go to Vietnam and then Bali, and I would lose money that they weren't going to and it also taxed heaps because it was taxed through Dubai. There was so many different things. And I was like, I am in a wheelchair. I can't even dress myself or brush my hair. Everyone was having to look after me. I couldn't sleep properly. It was really hard. So I was like, I'm going to be alone if I go straight back to Melbourne. My family is not there. The flight is going to be so painful because flights, broken bones, really bad. I was like, I'm not getting on that amount of flight to go from the Middle East to Australia in one flight. I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to have to just go straight to Vietnam, take that week break there, then fly. I'm going to have to do my original plans. And they didn't want me to do that in case I injured myself further. But I was like, if I can't stay here, I need someone to look after me. I'm going to be alone if I'm in Melbourne. So I just continued on my travels because I had friends meeting me in both places. And then I just had to have my holiday just surviving, which is a vibe. I was just happy I was alive.
I remember hearing this, and I was highly anticipating that episode. And when I watched it come to air, they just glazed over it. They didn't show it. They're just oh yeah, look, this sometimes happens. Someone hurt themselves. And anyway, so for the next task, and you're whoa, guys, stop the series.
Yeah, which was weird. It's wild. But also, and you know what was the worst part? It was like through when it aired, and because they didn't say much about it, because I'm an actress on the show, and obviously there's different talent, like athletes, personalities. Because I was an actor, so many people were like, she didn't fall. She couldn't survive that. This isn't a stunt because she's an actor. And I was like, guys,
No.
I actually fell. And I was like, I actually felt 8-metre. Don't take that from me. Like, they were like, how could you just break an arm?
Imagine going through that.
Legit, they
People
were like,
calling you a liar.
yeah, they're like, you just broke an arm. There's no way she just broke an arm from 8 meters. And I'm like, I know, bro. I know. But also they didn't get to see like the lived in experience that I had like after that period of time. And it did throw me out for a while. Like, that was why I was off work for a bit, and life really just like took a different route. I had planned that I was going to do one professional MMA fight after SAS. That was where my training was going into, and I was already getting ready to set it up. So I feel like it was kind of a way to be like, maybe I wasn't ready to fight. I don't know.
Has there been any long-term effects from it? Like, do you...
They did say that I would never straighten this arm again, but this is how straight I've got.
No.
It doesn't look as straight, but it's like...
Zim, your other one's not straight either. Zim, your
That
other
goes
one's going
in.
too far the other way.
Yeah.
What is going... It's too far that way.
Mine does that too, Matty.
Yeah.
Ah!
You get framed.
I can confirm, like, I've never been scared of death, and I think that it's sad for the people that are left here, but when it comes to if you're to die, you know, like, I liked how I relaxed. It was actually so peaceful. I can still remember the feeling, and I wasn't scared, and to take that away from that and then still living, I'm like, oh, well, it mustn't be my time, so I better keep going, you know? Like, it felt so surreal, and it was a really cool experience to be able, like, I fell 8 meters onto straight concrete. Have you done that? No. Don't plan on doing it again. I must be out of my lives. Like, I've probably lost a couple now. But that's okay.
Oh my god. Did you guys see that? Did you? No, it was a micro bat. There was a fucking bat just flew in here. Did you see that?
He's got a hole in the wall next to him, Zim.
I'm renovating it, and I'm part outdoors here, and a fucking bat just flew behind
Oh my
me.
god, fun!
How the hell do we segue this into something about Neighbours? Because I am exhausted.
Well, one time on Neighbours, my character poison mushroomed people. You know that, right? Roxy did that. It was pretty wild.
Was that from the mushroom
It was before
story, or was
so
that...
I think we inspired.
It was before. Oh my god.
It was before all that happened.
God.
Yeah.
You
Imagine if you
inspired
found out you
the
did.
mushroom killer.
Like, I might have. Can we even talk about that? Like, is that still going?
No, she's been convicted now.
Oh, so she's being convicted now? Okay, great. Isn't the world such a crazy place? It's actually wild.
Yeah. Like, what do you want to talk about, Zim? Because I don't think we can direct it in a direction after your story. So I feel like, what do you want to talk about?
This year, my goal is obviously smash out some movies. I want to move it mostly into movies because I think movies are real fun, and some TV shows maybe. My art is really lifting off the ground, and I do you know what? Can I tell you something, guys? Do you want to know a story? When I was in college, which is what's in Luchawita, it's like year 11 and 12. I don't know what it is for Victoria, or I don't know. But when I was in my final year to start, I remember that I had picked like mostly art stuff the first year and then the second year as well. And I had a couple things here or there, and I had like lots of tertiary whatever, and I had some other things. And I remember quitting those classes because I was like, I want to focus on this, which was creative writing, which is my poetry, which is all the way that I am. Creative writing, it was art measured at a tertiary level, and then it was acting. And those were the things that I was like, I want to do 100%. I got pulled into the office of the headmaster of my college with my mother, and they both looked at me and they both were like, if you drop out of any classes, you are going to fail. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just giving my brain more space to actually get an ATAR score and pass if I want to go to uni. But then these are the areas that I also love. And they were like, no. And I literally said to the headmaster, I said, watch me make money off every creative realm that I've chosen. And so far, professional acting, tick. Professional artist, I can now call myself a professional artist, which in that year as well, because I didn't do it in the first year, they said they wouldn't mark it as pre-tertiary, and I said, watch me make the work, and you can choose whether or not it's pre-tertiary. I told them they can make the choice to mark me as like high level or with the beginners, because I had to do a beginner class because it was for the second year and I didn't do it. And I said, mark me pre-tertiary if you think I'm there, and we can go from there. I just was constantly like being like, no, I'm gonna do it this way, because I can. And before I know it, soon enough, I will be paid for my writing eventually. I will be retired on my farm that's self-producing, and I'm living off the land on my farm, and I'm going to have a veranda, like a deck with all my garden and stuff, and I'm going to be retired, but I'm going to be a writer, and I'm going to finish my life as an author. That's what's going to happen. I do think that anything that truly is authentic, anything that you put so much passion into, and anything you love, it's going to be good. It's going to be good to someone. And also, I think that human connection, in the way that a good performer, like how we can tell a story as a performance without having it to be in the dialogue, without having it to be, when something is good, it becomes sold out theaters. It becomes a movie that everybody talks about because it is brilliant. You know, it just basically is, because I think that Talk to Me, the brothers did such an incredible job, because it's a piece of art and you recognize it as art because it is good. It's great. And as much as we lose these things, I don't think anything that is created and exists that is good, it will always be good, you know, and there'll always be people that represent it, because we like authenticity. And you can keep on adding shiny stuff to it, but when something really makes you feel something, you can't take that away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think art does live on forever. Unlike an Excel spreadsheet, I guess. You know? Well, there's some probably artful Excel spreadsheet people out there.
Yeah.
No offense to them.
Do you know there's like a World Games for Excel spreadsheets?
Do you know what I saw that there's a competition of? There's a making a bed perfectly. Have you seen that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah, brilliant. And art.
Wow.
And
Give me
art.
his number.
Oh, yeah, he goes, and the sheet, perfect, tucks it in, corners. And I'm like,
That's
wow.
awesome.
We really are just all good at something, you know?
That's right. Yeah.
And that guy is good at making beds, so, you know,
And I'm sure he's
to
good
him.
at other things too. He just
Yes,
has to not
we're not putting him in a box.
Mm-hmm.
We're not putting him in a box.
He just has to not let the fact that he is good at making beds and everybody else tells him he's good at making beds, that he needs to just make beds forever. If he changes his mind, can do anything at the same time, or just flip up the switch, because he is the main character in his life. So he can do whatever he wants. We don't box that man.
You give off the most leading character energy than anyone else I know, Zim.
That's actually really nice.
I cannot wait to see you in everything. I can't wait to see you singing. I can't wait to see you do more of your art. I can't wait to see you in this amazing horror film that's coming up. Whatever that is. Secret. But it's if I was to put money on who's going to be next on the big screen, it's you.
That's actually... Do you really mean that?
Yeah, man.
Wow. Well, what I think to myself is how beautiful...
Well, I mean, you kind of just told us that you're already going to be on the big screen, so it's not that far.
Yeah, true.
Stretch.
Yeah, true. But also, like, I just really love that we get to, that this career gives us such great friends too, because obviously we've gotten so close. We're like family, all of us, you know. It's kind of fabulous because we get to experience these things together now. Like, I can't wait for you guys to come down, see a movie, or come see my art. Like now it's just like, this is our life, and getting to come see your family and getting to see your guys' movies, your things. Like, how lucky are we to have such cool friends?
It's hard to have a boring life with people like you in our lives, Zim, that's for sure. And we've got to let you go, but we've definitely got to have you back once you can talk about this film that you're going up to shoot soon.
Definitely.
Because I'm absolutely 100% certain there's going to be some amazing stories coming out of it. People are going to find this one of the most interesting chats that we ever have. I feel like I feel that way. So, I love you so much, Zim. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys. And thank you, Matty. And thank you, Tak, for your time and your energy and getting to chat with you both. I really appreciate you guys.
Oh my God. Zima Anderson. What a human being.
Oh my goodness. She has some good stories.
She says she's going to be an author later on in her life. I mean, the book's already writing itself. I think she's already got like 3 books for her young life as it is.
Yeah, I know. They say not to write it while you're experiencing it, though, because then you'll try and manipulate the ending.
Oh, that's interesting.
I just made that up then, but it makes sense. No, I think I have heard that somewhere, but yeah, I mean, she's also.
It sounds too smart to be something that you've just come up with on the spot. I feel so.
Well, Google it, see if it is.
I'm
it
kidding,
might be.
Matty, I'm kidding.
She's like, I don't think that many things could happen to any one person. And mind you, we've known Zimmer for a long time, and she didn't even scratch the surface. She has done some shit. She is one of the most incredible humans.
That's why we have to have her back after she's finished
We're gonna have
this
her
horror
back.
film that she's doing. She's an incredible person. I'm sure that came across.
And a fantastic actress as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We're talking mostly about not her acting, and her acting is her main passion, her main thing. So, I mean, everyone's who's watching this, I'm sure, seen her work before, which is why you're here. And she's a phenomenal talent in that, but then she's phenomenal at all these other things. And we do self-tapes together, so auditions together, and the amount of time we spend afterwards just hanging out, talking, whether it be philosophically about acting or technically about acting or just art or just life itself. I could never get bored of talking to Zima Anderson. She's infectious in all of the best ways. So infectious that we're now going to play her song, which is, as she said, not really edited, something she just whipped up on the spot with the producer and she just sang over the top. So please enjoy. What's the song called, Matty? You know the name, don't you?
Peace, love, protection. I hope you got the message. I think they're the words. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Well, for now, that's the name. She may not even have a name of the song yet. But that's a good enough name for me. Peace, love, protection. Here it is.
I only got love for you. I've only got this love for you. We got that type of love that everybody's talking about. You know, the one you won't even know. You tell yourself you're scared. If you were mine, I'd give you the world. Peace, love, protection. I hope you get the message. Peace, love, protection. I hope you get the message. I only got love for you. I only got love for you. I only got love for you. I've only got this love for you.
Oh, she's good. She's good. Hey, Tak.
Yeah, Matt.
My wheelie bin has a better work-life balance than me. There's one big job a week, and then it's done.
That's the joke after the incredible interview with Zima Anderson you come up with.
Good night, everybody.
See you next bin night.